I drive on unpaved county roads a few times a month, mostly to visit friends or family.
For my friends, we usually turn up the music and start singing, and you kind of move too much, so you're not really paying as much attention to the road.
When I'm with my friends, we like to play our music a lot, and we play gangster music, and we kind of jam out.
I have my friends take the wheel, and I'll be talking on the phone.
If I drop my phone on the floor, I don't stop driving or pull off to the side. I have to put my one hand on the wheel and search the ground and try to find my phone, and that's probably dangerous.
Honestly, I like to clean my car sometimes when I'm driving.
It's my life, these roads, is how we make our living. That's how we get from one field to another. It's our only way to transport food and fiber to the city.
The most annoying thing about driving with farm equipment on roads is that I'm always trying to get somewhere fast, so I get held up.
A lot of them want to pass in a hurry, don't have the time to give you a chance to get over and give them a safe place to pass.
People are not familiar with the roads they're on, and they're driving at a higher rate of speed than is safe out here. Along with that, you have some big farm equipment coming up and down the road, which most of it's a slow-moving vehicle. So you got people who are inexperienced making, I'll call it improper passes on some of these roads, or unsafe passing.
Driving on rural roads is far more dangerous than driving on a state highway, and we've got the numbers to prove it. The crash rate on a rural road is more than twice that of a state highway. And on gravel roads, the percentage of crashes involving younger drivers is significantly higher than on state highways.
Flipped the car into a 20-foot drop-off.
3 of my friends were driving, and then they were turning onto another gravel road, and one of them was texting while he was driving, and his car flipped. He went to the hospital. 3
teens that were traveling down this road, driving too fast for the conditions on the road, and they lost control. The vehicle had rolled several times in the field behind me here. The front seat passenger, a female, was ejected from the vehicle and was propelled about 100 yards, where she finally came to rest and had died on scene.
Crashes are preventable on gravel roads. We just need to be aware of the hazards that are out there, especially for younger drivers. They lack the experience necessary to always make the right decisions in some of those situations.
I really don't know. I think it's somewhere between 45 and 55.
There's a speed limit?
35.
Do you know the speed limit on gravel roads?
The speed limit on rural roads is actually 55 miles per hour during the daytime. Although the speed limit is 55 miles per hour, that many times is not a safe speed to be operating out here. And I like to advise young drivers, if you're out on rural roads, pay attention, drive cautiously, and if you're not feeling comfortable at 55 miles per hour, go ahead and slow down. Especially during the daytime, during harvesting and planting seasons when there's a lot of farm equipment out.
Another reason to drive slower on roads is that it takes longer to stop the faster that you're going. So if you're driving twice as fast, it actually takes 3 times the distance to stop your vehicle. Let's take a look. On dry pavement, if you're going 30 miles an hour, it takes 84 feet to stop. If you double your speed to 60 miles an hour, it actually takes 260 feet to stop. Remember, that's on dry pavement. On gravel roads, it totally depends on the condition of the road. All I can say for sure is that it's going to take much longer to stop.
Use a lot of patience and a lot of caution, because odds are that big piece of machinery is not going more than a mile or so, and it's going to get out of your way, so you don't have to be in a hurry to pass.
That's true. Speed is only one of the causes of crashes. The sheer size of farm vehicles on rural gravel roads can also be a hazard.
Gravel roads are small, and if you're trying to compete with a tractor going around them, they're obviously going to win.
The problem is you got a big piece of equipment like a tractor. Usually, a lot of times they'll be pulling something behind them. When they go to make a left-hand turn, they're obviously crossing the other lane of traffic. What's going to happen is they're going to make a wide turn to the right, pulling in left-hand turn into their farm drive. As they do that, it's going to be a very slow turn. They're going to be blocking both lanes of traffic for quite some time. So both cars from both directions are going to have to stop, yield, and allow that piece of farm equipment to make the turn.
Yeah, a lot of times you'll be ready to attempt a left-hand turn or right-hand, and you make your swing and a car will pass you, assuming you're yielding for them. And all modern equipment does have turn signals, but I don't think people interpret a turn signal on a piece of equipment as being a turn signal.
The big piece of farm equipment compared to a little car make a lot of damage. Also, other things to pay attention when you're out on rural roads as you're driving. There's obstacles that hang out into the roadway, such as mail carrier boxes, paper delivery boxes.
We have to swing over for mailboxes and all roadside signs. Sometimes clear to the middle of the road or the other side of the road even.
In order to help us identify slow-moving vehicles on the roadways, we ask all of those vehicles to use a special placard. It's a red and orange triangle that's mounted on the back of the vehicle. And whenever you see those on the roadways, we ask you to slow down and use extra caution. So when you see a slow-moving vehicle, you need to slow down and be careful. So let's think about this for a minute. We've talked about how farm equipment can impact the safety on gravel roads. What other hazards could be out there?
Dust makes it pretty hard to see.
The road gets kind of twisty. There's a lot of curves in the road.
There's traffic coming over the top of hills in the center of the road.
I can't think of any.
As you're driving down those roads, even if you're behind a slow piece of moving equipment, you still can't pass in a no passing zone.
But it's not only when they pass those vehicles that we need to be careful. The road surface itself poses hazards. For instance, your car handles very differently on gravel than it does on pavement.
Some of the added dangers that you have on gravel roads, obviously, are the loose gravel. Your traction's not very good.
Yeah, it feels like you're driving on marbles.
Sometimes you're not sure if your car's going to slide or if you're going to keep going the direction you want to go.
Think about a gravel road. What could make it less safe?
There are no markings on the roads, so you're not sure exactly where you're supposed to be.
There's no stop signs at intersections. There's no streetlights at night.
Well, the snow drifts in winter.
You kick up a lot of dry dust in the summer.
Shoulders can be hazardous. There's livestock, wildlife, pets.
Although the speed limit is 55 miles per hour, many times that's not safe on a gravel road. You have the added dust and the dirt coming up, and visibility gets pretty poor. So if you're following another vehicle in front of you and there's a lot of gravel dust, obviously you need to slow down so you can see the vehicle in front of you.
We've been talking about how hazardous gravel roads can be. And while paved rural roads are safer, they also can have hazards. There may be no shoulders. There may be fewer signs, no curve signs. There could be narrow bridges that we need to be aware of. The bottom line is, whenever we're driving on paved rural roads, we need to use extra caution. Remember, rural road crashes are preventable. First, slow down. Drive a speed that is appropriate for the conditions and type of hazards that are on the roadway. Pay close attention when you're driving. Keep your mind on the road. Don't get distracted by things like cell phones, other passengers, or even food. Be patient. Slow down and watch for farm equipment. Wait for a safe and legal place to pass. Use your seatbelt and make sure that the passengers in your car do also. Be aware of road conditions. They vary throughout the year or just around the next corner.
We all just want to get where we're going safely.
Remember, it's better to be late in this life than early in the next one.
You know, that's what my mom always says.
Your mother's a smart woman.